On in Bojo, Mr. McLeod Mondaya, Mr. McLeod here, and today's lesson is going to be on third person singular VTI phrases, question particles, and tense markers. So we're incorporating prefixes and suffixes to our VTI phrases. So today's lesson. Today we'll be adding a lot of tools to our language toolboxes today. We are changing up our verbs a lot by incorporating past lessons into this unit. Those past lessons are question particles and tenses. So really we're only just learning one thing today, and that's how to turn our VTI words from commands into statements. And so those are just plain sentences. She or he is doing something to it. Before we incorporate old stuff, we will learn how to inflect our VTI words into third person singular sentences. So she or he is verbing something. So part 1, third person singular sentences. For our third person singular sentences, most of our VTI words are acceptable as is. The only one we need to change is our VTI 1 endings, and we need to change them from an AN ending to an AAN ending. So for example, pkweb nun ip kwakwed means is a command meaning catch the ball. If we extend that AN at the end of pkweb nun to pkweb non, so pkweb non ip kwakwed, it means she or he is catching the ball. So pkweb nun ip kwakwed, catch the ball. Pkweb non ip kwakwed, she or he is catching the ball. So ninip pkweb non ip kwakwed, the man is catching the ball. So part 1 of our third person singular sentences. Every other type of VTI word doesn't need any edits to form sentences. So it was just our VTI ones that we needed to change up a bit, and we're just extending that ending by one letter, an extra A. So for example, VTI 2, pug don ip kwakwed means throw the ball, or it could also mean she or he is throwing the ball. So for example, Quanzans pug don ip kwakwed means the girl is throwing the ball. VTI 3's nodin ip kwakwed means either fetch the ball or she or he is fetching the ball. So Guiozans nodin ip kwakwed means the boy is fetching the ball. And lastly, yan ip kwakwed either means is a command to have a ball, or it's a statement that she or he has a ball. So nimush yan ip kwakwed means the dog has the ball, and I forgot to put the noun there in the English. So that's it for our third person singular sentences. So that's all the new stuff we're learning today. Everything else is old and recycled lessons from our past VII units and VAI units. Oh, wait, we gotta do the plural stuff too now. Yeah, I forgot that. Sorry. My bad. So when our inanimate nouns, our inanimate objects are pluralized in our sentences, we also have to pluralize our verbs with an AN plural suffix to replace the our I singular inanimate pronoun with its plural version, ne. So we're going to go over that right now. So, oh yeah, also don't forget to apply our third last consonant rule to our VTI 3 words when adding that AN plural suffix. All right, so we're going to have our singular versions over here on the left, and then our plural versions here on the right. So, nimush gnwab don ip kwakwed, the dog is looking at the ball. Nine gnwab don nip kwakwadon. Or I should say nimush, sorry. Nimush gnwab don nip kwakwadon. And and that's the dog is looking at the balls. I accidentally put in the word for man here. So the dog is looking at the ball. So we can see here that on our verb, we still have gonna wob don. And then we added an extra an, gonna wob don none. We changed that pronoun I to a ni. And our noun, pequawkwad, was pluralized with pequawkwad don. All right, so make sure to apply all the three aspects here to the rest of our verbs. And don't forget our VTI 3 words, we're going to apply our third last consonant rule to them. So, nene weshton ishkwandem, the man is fixing the door. So these are our VTI 2 examples. Notice the OON ending. Then we got nene weshtonan ne shkwandeman. So we got weshton an, that extra an for the plural, and then our I turned to a ne, and then shkwandem was pluralized with an an, so shkwandeman. So that means the man is fixing the doors. Moving on to our VTI 3s here. Shkinwe nadin isin, the young man is fetching the rock. All right. So the plural version. Shkinwe nod nan ni sinin. So from here, we didn't say nadin nun because of our third last consonant rule. So if there was an I here, count back to our third last consonant. So we have an N here, D here, vowel sound here, and short one here. So that's why that I disappeared. So shkinwe nod nun ne sinin. So our I sound turned to a ne, and then our word for rock, sin, was pluralized with sinin. So that means the young man is fetching the rocks. He's probably doing that for a sweat. Next, moving on to our VTI 4s. So, kwe yan im zinigan. So the woman has the book. Kwe yan an ni mzinignan. So, yan and then an extra an there for the plural. I changed to ni. And mzinigan changed to mzinignan. So remember our third last consonant rule. We got rid of that I there. All right. So that means the woman has the books. So that's how we pluralize those. We add an to the end of our verbs, change our is to nis, and pluralize our nouns as necessary. So now we're moving on to some of the recycled stuff here, the question particles. In previous units, we used question particles na and na, and that last one means a Canadian A, to elicit yes-no questions from our audience. So whenever you're talking to someone and you want to ask them a question that would result in a yes or no answer, this is how we would do it. We would either use na or na. The exact same can be applied to our VTI third-person sentences. So remember to keep na and na in second position. Also, since question particles are words on their own, they don't interfere with how we pluralize our inanimate objects. All right, so we're going to have our third-person statements over here, and then we're going to have the interrogatives here, or the question versions. So, kwe jaya kwana ne mkakan. So that means the woman is opening the boxes. Jaya kwan, she is opening. An, plural. Ne, plural. Mkak, box. Mkak, un, boxes. So, kwe na jaya kwana ne mkakan. Is the woman opening the boxes? So notice how we have na as our second position, kind of like our second word in our question. So moving on from here, we got our VTI 2, pugdon, the OON ending. So nene pugdon ip kwakwid. So the man is throwing the ball. So nene, man, pugdon, throw it, singular, kwakwid, ball. Nene na pugdon ip kwakwid. So that's the man is throwing the ball, eh? So nene, man, na, a. pugdon, throwing, singular, pquaquid, ball. And so you can see how the na and the na affect the English. They're highlighted in green here in both the English and the Ojibwe. Next, we're moving on to our VTI 3 word. So, mijin. So you can see here we're going from plural, singular, plural. Okay. So, nemush mijnan nekanan. So the dog is eating the bones. So nemush mijnan nimkanan. So nimush, dog, mijin is eat, but that un makes it eating them, eating those plural things. Ne, plural, kan, bone, kanan, bones. So nimush na mijnan nikanan. So that means the dog is eating the bones, eh? So like that na is our Canadian our way of asking a question. And our last one for our question particles. Kweyan mzinigan. Kweyan mzinigan. So that means the woman has the book. Kwe, woman. Yan, has. Singular. Mzinigan, book. Kwe nayane mzinigan. So this is our question version. Kwe nayane mzinigan. So that means, does the woman have the book? So kwe, woman, na, question, yan, have, singular, mzinigan, book. So now we're going to move on to our tenses. So again, this is very similar to our past units on how we incorporated tenses. So just as in previous units when we spoke about tense, the same can be applied to our VTI words. Tense markers take the form of prefixes that appear in front of our verbs, VTI words for this unit. In the past, they appeared in front of VII words and VAI words. And now they're appearing in front of VTI words. So they're always appearing in front of them verbs. So we still use the same tense markers. Gi for past tense. Present tense is always built into our verbs, so no prefix is necessary. We is indefinite future, meaning want to. And ga or da is our definite future. For today's lesson, da will be the only definite future tense marker used today because we're using third person sentences. So with the definite future, you use da for third person, singular and plural. That's the she or he sentences and the they or them sentences. Everyone else, all the other pronouns, we use ga. And also da is our modal tense, meaning should, could, or would. So temporal adverbs can inform us on which tense markers to use. So, for example, jinaga is a temporal adverb. It means yesterday. And so if we think about what when yesterday happened, it was in the past. It's already happened. So if you're talking about something happening yesterday, you'd use a past tense marker like gi. Dipikung means last night. Again, something that happened in the past, ergo past tense. Just like jinaga. Aja is another one, meaning already. So if something already happened, that means it's in the past. And so again, you'd use your past tense marker gi after aja. Aja can also mean now. And so if something's happening right now, that means it's happening in the present. So no tense markers needed. So if our verb has a past tense marker with aja in the sentence, it means already. If there's no tense marker present, aja means now. So nongum means today or now. And so if something's happening today or now, it's in the present. So no tense markers needed. Wiba means earlier. And so if something happened earlier, it happened in the past. So we would need our past tense marker gi along with our verb. Weeba can also mean soon. So if something's going to happen soon, that means it hasn't happened yet. So it's in the future. So we would use one of our future tense markers, either we or ga or da, or today's lesson, da. Bamapi means later. And so if something's happening later, it's in the future. So we would need a future tense marker like we or da. Another version of Bamapi is Bama, which also means later. Same thing. And the P is droppable there. Same thing. Future, we or da. Next is nanage. So here's a synonym for later. So nanage means later. Again, it's in the future, so your verb should have the prefix we or da in front of it. Nongum nakshik means tonight. So tonight hasn't happened yet. It's going to happen in the future. So your verb should have the prefix we or da in front of it if the verb's going to happen tonight. Wabang is tomorrow. So again, something that's going to happen in the future. So your verb should have the prefix we or da in front of it. And then we have waswabang, which means 2 days from now. So that's even further into the future than wabang. And so that lets us know that, again, we would need our future tense markers, we or da, in front of our verbs. So this is a pretty good screen. I'll leave it here for a second there in case you need to snap a picture of it or pause it for your note taking. All right, let's move on from here. So part 3 for our tenses. So third person singular VTI words are past and present tenses. So last night the baby opened the box. So we need the word for last night, baby, past tense, opened the box. So last night we just learned is debikung. The word for baby is bibis. So last night, that's in the past, we would need a gi as our past tense marker, and then our verb for open it in this lesson, or this unit, is jea kwan. Remember, kwa, wa for third person sentences, and then I mkuk. So debikung bibis gi jea kwan I mkuk. Last night the baby opened the box. Let's see if Mr. McLeod's correct here. Perfect. Debikung bibis gi jea kwan I mkuk. Next one. Is the woman fixing the boxes now? So I'm going to give you guys a second to try and translate this question here. All right. So we have a few options here, depending on word order. I'm just going to go based on the English here. So, kwe na weshtonan nit mkakan. And then here we can have aja or nongum. So let's see what we have here. Oh, aja na kwe weshtonan nit mkakan. So aja, you can either use aja or nongum here for now. But everything else, all the words I said in here were correct. So I used aja at the end and kwe in front here. But it's all good. If your word order was a little different, that's cool too. Next one. So did the dog already fetch the ball? So another question here. I'll give you a few seconds to formulate your translation. All right, here. So we're gonna try and I'm gonna try and translate this one on the spot as well here. So did the dog already fetch the ball? So Ajana Nimush Ginadin Ip Quakwad. There we go. Ajana Nimush Ginadin Ip Quakwad. So remember, Aja with no tense marker is now. Aja with the past tense marker means already. All right. So we did our VTI 1 with our AN ending, VTI 2 with our OON ending, and VTI 3 with our IN ending. Now we're going to move on to our VTI 4. So the man has the books today. So the man has the books today. So I'll give you a few seconds to come up with your translation for this sentence. All right. So let's take that up now. The man has the books today. So we could say nongom nene yanan ne mzinignan. So nongom nene yanan ne mzinignan. There we go. Nongom nene yanan ne mzinignan. So today the man has the books, or the man has the books today. So now we're moving on to indefinite future and definite future sentences today, or right now. So later the woman wants to close the boxes. So we're using our same verb from earlier, jeakwan. So later the woman wants to close the boxes. So later we can have bama pi, bama or nanage. And then kwe for woman, wants to. Wants to is our indefinite future. So that's we. Oh, close. So not jeakwan, gabakwan for our close. Nim kakan. Okay. So all together here, this would be something like nana gekwe wigbakwan nim kakan. All right, so bama instead of nana ge. Again, we had three options. So bama kwe wigbakwan nim kakan. So later, the woman wants to close the boxes. All right. So will the man fix the box soon? So we have a question here. Will. So will is our definite future tense marker. Fix is West tone. We already translated boxes, and soon is Weeba with a future tense marker. So I'll give you a few seconds to come up with your translation for will the man fix the box soon? All right, so let's take that up now. So, will the man fix the box soon? Weeba na nene da West tone imkuk. Right there. Weeba na nene da weshton kuk. So weeba, soon, with the future tense marker. Da will man nene fix weshton the box kuk. Next one. Does the baby want to fetch the ball later? All right, so I'll give you a few seconds to translate this one here. All right, so let's take that up now. So does the baby want to fetch the ball later? So let's use, I don't know, nanage. So nanage na babies we na din ipquaquid. Oh, I got it right for once. So nanage na babies we na din ipquaquid. So nanage, later, na, question, babies, the baby, we want to, nod in, fetch it, singular, quaquid, ball. So I hope you guys are noticing the patterns here. And then the last one here. The man will have the books tomorrow. The man will have the books tomorrow. Again, we'll give you a few seconds to come up with your translations on your own. All right, so let's take that up now. The man will have the books tomorrow. So tomorrow, let's go with wabang nene dayan ne mzinignan. Wabang nene dayanan nimzinignan. Right there. Wabang nene dayanan nimzinignan. So wabang, tomorrow, nene, the man, da, will, yanan, have them, ne, plural, mzinignan, books. So that's our lesson today. So we're going to recap that right now. So today's lesson covered 4 grammatical concepts in Ojibwe. Third person sentences, so changing our VTI 1 words from an AN ending to an AAN ending. Singular and plural VTI sentences, so adding that AN suffix to the very end of our VTI words when our inanimate objects have been pluralized. Asking yes/no questions, so using question particles na and na in second position. And incorporating tense into our verbs. So using our tense prefixes and temporal adverbs like jina, gu, nongum, and wabang in our sentences. So, gachimi gwech bsindwi yagmi sae aja. Thank you all for listening to me. That's it for today. So now we're going to move into our worksheet. So what's expected of you there? All right, so we have a word scramble today. And so this one is on our locational adverbs. So these are all our locational adverbs. And so you might need your notes for this one on these ones here. So we need a locational adverb that has WANBNOAG. So the only one that I can think of is the word wab nung. So good, and that is the word for east. So WAABNONG. WAABNONG. Wabnung. All right. So these are words from our last lesson there. And I'll leave the rest of these for you guys to do on your own. So now we have multiple choice for our temporal adverbs. So this first one here is jinaga. It either means today, yesterday, afternoon, or tonight. So again, if you don't know what the word yesterday is, we can always look it up in the dictionary here. It's got a nifty search feature. So jinaga means temporal adverb meaning yesterday. So the answer is B. Yesterday. Pretty straightforward for multiple choice, and you guys have done this numerous times at this point in this class, so I'm going to leave the rest of these for you guys to do on your own. Next, match the VTI words to their English translations. So let's see here. We got this word here, gabakwan. Gabakwan. So that means one of these things here. Again, if you don't know it, just look it up in the dictionary. Gabakwan. It's taking a while there. So gabakwan means close it. So we're looking for one that says close it. Oh, right there. First one, A. There we go. All right. So number 4, what do we change about VTI one words to make them third person singular? All right. So let's see here. What do we change about VTI one words to make them third person singular? From a to an ending. Put that in here. So what is our general question particle? And what position does it take? So let's see here. So what's our general question particle? And what position does it take? Should know that from our lesson. How do we ask a Canadian A question? Particle goes in what position? So again, which one is our Canadian A and what position does it go in? What are all 5 of our tense markers and what do they mean? So let's see here. So we have 5 tenses. One of them is not a tense marker. So that's a bit of a mistake on my part. So we got a tense marker here, 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 and here. So again, what are they and what do they mean? All right, so how do we know what tense marker goes with which temporal verb? So again, what did we ask ourselves about these temporal adverbs? And how did we know which tense marker to use with which one? How do we translate the word weeba? So weeba has 2 translations, and how do you figure out which is which? Next, reorganize and translate. All right, here. So we got quinzes. Then we got a we, but it's a prefix because it's got that hyphen in front. All right. Nanage. This is our word for later that we learned today. Kizin is our word for shoe. Optoptone is our VTI2 word, meaning untie it. And in do is our first person ownership prefix. So first person, so that's mine. So our sentences, our verbs today should be third person. So nothing in front of our verbs except for a tense marker. Croissant. So let's start off our sentence with croissants. So croissants. So we can cross it out. So croissants, and then we can go with our temporal adverb, nanage. So nanage is later. So that later is in the future. So that's where our future tense marker probably relates to. And so our verb would come next. So the only one that's a verb here is optoptone. Optoptone. And then we got... So this is a prefix. So with that hyphen in front and back means it's a prefix. So do, and then kizin. So to translate this, the girl wants to untie my shoe later. Boom, there we go. All right, so I did that first one for you guys, and now you guys can do the other ones. So keep an eye out for our inanimate noun possessions from earlier in this unit. Our verbs, tense markers, temporal adverbs, and on our what has a hyphen and where does it go. All right, and so that's it for our worksheet today. So kachimi gwach sinduyeg nongum misae asha. So thanks for listening to me today. That's it for now. Again, I'm going to try and put the links to access the dictionary in the description below, as well as PDF or Microsoft Word versions of this worksheet for you to fill out on your own, and then also links to audio files for you guys to practice your listening, transcribing, and then translating based on today's lesson. Bam LP.